Hi, Mizzo here. I just wanted to do a little wrap-up video where I talk about some tips and tricks, and just kind of wrap up. Hopefully you enjoyed watching these videos. I had so much fun making them, and um, I just think it's really funny, as I mentioned in my intro video, how we really have this idea that delivery is something that you're just magically good at, and some people are good, born good, and some people aren't. And that is not true. That is baloney sticks. Hopefully these videos can get you thinking about things you can do to really improve your delivery, and that you can practice to get more confident and to feel better in how you're delivering and gifting your information to your audience. Some common things that I see that I want to just talk about is I want to remind you, when you're thinking about delivery, right? You're thinking about yourself as a public speaker. You are not a TV. Have you ever noticed that your TV does not care about you? Now, this message is not as poignant in the age of streaming, because you can pause your TV and your TV isn't really a TV, right? It's a video. But live TV, so we have this Samsung TV, and it has the big, beautiful TV that my baby likes to put her hands on. Like, no. So this big, beautiful TV comes with its own channels, and it has Samsung channels, and one of the Samsung channels, it plays Project Runway 24/7. So I've been watching all this Project Runway, much to the chagrin of my partner, who does not like the show. and It's live. And so I have to, old school 1990s, run to the bathroom between commercials and grab a snack, and live TV does not care about you. It does not interact with you. And I watch some speakers almost become live televisions. They're like bursting sound at us with no care or concern about us and our reactions and what we need, right? And you don't want to do that, right? You want to and I think one of the reasons we do that is we've been sort of taught that it has to be formal and perfect, and it doesn't. Often the best public speaking is when it's conversational, when it feels like you and your audience are having a conversation back and forth. Now, most audiences don't verbally or vocally respond. They're having it in their heads, right? But if you're acknowledging that as a speaker, think about, as an audience member, how often you think and respond, right? And then when a speaker can sort of acknowledge that or connect to that, that is when it gets really good, right? With that, you're not a train. So trains have sort of two ways they go. They go forward, chugga, chugga, chugga. They can go backwards, chugga, chugga, and then that's it. And then if they can't do either, they fall over, right? And so I will often see students get up and they'll start their speech, and it's like they're going, chugga, 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 chugga. And then they mess up or get stuck, and then they go, "Can I start over?" And I'm like, "No." Yes, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but we're not going to magically forget the things you said. So you're not a train. You're not chugging along on one specific path, right? If you mess up or say something you didn't expect, go off path. Pick some berries. Enjoy yourself. Sometimes those mistakes can be some of the most interesting and awesome things in your speech, right? And then come back. No big deal. The analogy I really like is this idea of being a tour guide, right? That you've done all this research, you know this destination, your speech, really well, right? So you're taking your audience through, you're guiding them through. I think holding your audience by the hand, and then if they're looking at you confused, you might repeat something, or if they didn't hear you, you go back and restate it, right? You're communicating with your audience to really get them the information that you work so hard to structure and organize. And you do that through your delivery. The final thing is, you want to be yourself. I often see people turn into formal robots, and they talk in a certain way, and they in a certain way. I love going to conferences, and I'll kick my shoes off and sit up on the desk or table if it will hold me. And often everybody sort of looks around like, is she real? Is she really like this? And it's like, oh yeah, I'm really like this. I'm myself, and this is how I deliver. Now, obviously, I can change those qualities based on the context that I'm in, right? I'm going to act different in an interview than I do when I'm giving a eulogy, than I do when I am guest speaking in a class, than I do when I'm speaking in my own class, right? And so you're obviously going to move and change the versions of yourself depending on the context, but you don't have to sound a certain way or act a certain way to be a good public speaker. You are great, and you can be a great public speaker as yourself. Um, uh, Really quick, you've read about the ways to deliver extemporaneous, memorization, by manuscript, or impromptu. I highly recommend trying to extemporaneously speak. Memorization is really hard, and there's often not a lot of cases in which you would need to do it. I mean, maybe you'll work for a job or be like a tour guide where you have to memorize a script, but even then, you're adding in your own sort of things. And often people write manuscripts and they read from them. Delivering effectively from a manuscript is also a lot harder than it seems. So I really recommend writing really good notes and like organizing those notes and making a lot of choices about your notes and outlines, and then practicing them over and over and over until you can talk kind of like this. I mean, you don't see my notes, but like I'm speaking from, you know, what I have like ideas to talk. And I have done this so many times, right? But you can tell that it's fresh and specific for you because it's a live speech. So hopefully that helps. And I've passed along my information. So if you need anything, please let me know. And then I also pass along some optional videos if you want to watch what I like to watch to really make the delivery stuff come alive. I watch a lot of stand-up comedy, and so you can really kind of see all these specific performers using these mechanisms in different ways. Enjoy. Have a beautiful day.